York Giants fans? This is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. It's a Thursday video. Quick update, we were doing a live stream today, but our camera has yet to show up. So it looks like we're going to move it to Thursday of next week. I'll give more information when I get a camera, when I actually get the camera up and running, or it's supposed to be here. I love the mail because the mail's like, oh, it'll be here on this day. It'll be here on this day. Yeah. 2 weeks later, I'm still waiting. I wanted to talk about the New York Giants free agent situation, their own free agent situation, because of the fact that we spend a lot of time who the Giants should sign exterior from the team itself, but we're not looking at the interior of the team. We're not looking at our own free agents. Who should we bring back? Who should we let go? Who should we leave on the side of the highway? And you know what? I think that it's an important situation that we need to look at and address. So let's really just jump right into the offensive side of the ball, because there are not that many. You have, you have CJ Board. CJ Board, did anyone really expect a tremendous amount from him? I don't remember if anyone included him in the Victor Cruz 2.0 situations, but you know what? I think that's someone we can let go. We can find a wide receiver his caliber either late in the draft or in free agency. Cam Fleming, I think everyone knows my situation on Cam Fleming. We need to leave Cam Fleming on 95 North, or I should say 95 South, coming back from Philadelphia. Give him a bus ticket, give him a train ticket, give him a plane ticket. He was never the answer. I said it in the beginning of the season when we signed him that if we're relying on Cam Fleming to play consistently, it's not going to go well. He wasn't horrid, but he also was not good. And next on the list, we have Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis, yeah, we can get rid of Dion, 31 years old. Again, he hasn't shown that same flair that he did a couple of years back with the Texans. Austin Mack, that was one of the Victor Cruz 2.0s. Austin Mack. He's we're going to cut him. We're going to get rid of him. He's another guy that we can find somewhere else. Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy's an interesting situation because right now in the last 3 years, he's the only New York Giant quarterback to beat a team with a winning record. He is a good backup. He is a consummate professional. The problem with Colt McCoy is he does not possess the skill level to be a consistent player in the backup role. You want your second string quarterback to have the ability to come in at least for like 2-3 weeks and give you an effort that's going to allow you not to change your offensive philosophy as much. Colt McCoy at this juncture in his career and his age is not the guy that can do that. I mean, it's not a slight against Colt McCoy. It's just age caught up to him. I mean, it happens to everybody. It's not like we're saying, well, he's a bum. I'm just saying that due to his age, it's probably we need to bring in probably a younger backup quarterback who can help push Daniel Jones and even potentially compete for that starting position because of the fact that you need to create competition for Daniel Jones. I am so tired of hearing people in the Giants organization saying, Daniel Jones is our guy. We trust Daniel Jones. We're putting our faith in Daniel Jones. You have to. And I've said it before. You have 15 million reasons why in dead cap space invested in Daniel Jones this season, 8.5 and next year. So you got to put your faith in Daniel Jones. There's the dog barking. Evidently, we have some people outside today. Say hello, wave. Welcome to the Online Big Blue. I think someone's delivering something that is not my camera. No, I don't think it is. But like I said, we need to find someone that can help competitively push Daniel Jones. Next on the list is going to be Alfred Morris, the 33-year-old running back. Good fill-in running back. We can't keep him. He's going to be 34. I'm not going to keep a 34-year-old running back on the roster that can't play special teams. You got Damari Scott, another Victor Cruz 2.0. We're going to waive him. You got David Sills. Everyone was in love with David Sills, and of course he gets injured. He's going to be 27 years old, and people are still hoping that he's going to turn about. I'm going to cut him, and I'm cutting Joe Webb. The only other person on this list that we need to think about is Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman finally put something together after years on the Giants bench. He is not the game-changing breakaway backup back the Giants need. I think that was on full display when Jamal Adams ran him down from behind in the Seattle game. He doesn't have the breakaway speed. He doesn't have he's a bull rusher. Is he a good change of pace back from Saquon Barkley? Sure. So if we want to bring him back at a competitive contract, I would not be adverse to that. But he's also a guy that we could probably find later in the draft in the third or fourth round. So it's going to be what's your level of trust in Saquon Barkley, and what's your level of trust in Wayne Gallman if Saquon Barkley goes down again. And I'm going to say I'm not full of confidence with Wayne Gallman again for 16 weeks if Saquon Barkley goes down. He's a nice back. He's a second team, third team back, and that's what he is, and that's what we need. But you know what? Again, with the salary cap dropping probably to $176 million, down 20-something million, we have to be conscientious of who we're bringing back and what their value is, and what their value is not only in a starting role or a backup role, but in special teams as well. It's going to be more interesting now than it ever was before, because of the fact that players are now going to really have to play multiple positions and be more of a hybrid. You're going to need to see more guys on special teams that you thought you would never see on special teams before. So, I mean, if you get them at a reasonable rate, sure, I'd keep them. If not, I'd get rid of them, try to find someone, later in the draft or even in free agency. Now let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, we have some interesting situations. We have Adrian Colbert. Adrian was playing consistent and playing okay until he got injured. Came back, was really not the factor. So you know what? I think that if we can sign him at a good contract value for the Giants, he would be a good backup safety and special teams player. Nate Ebner, oh God, just get rid of Nate. Just please, no more, no more of these New England guys. I mean, back in the day, Parcells had Parcells guys, and those Parcells guys were people like Pepper Johnson. Joe Judge is Joe Judge guys. It's like Nate Ebner. Okay, so let's just send him on. Let's send him on his way. Mondre Harper, you know what? He was the big splash that we stole from the Raiders. Yeah, he never really panned out besides playing on special teams. I mean, if we want to bring him back again, he'll probably be a lower option in reference to salary, so he's not a bad player to bring back and potentially try to compete for a third or fourth corner position. So I'd like to see him back. Ryan Lewis, the cornerback. I'm getting rid of Ryan unless he's coming back on a team-friendly contract. Sheard. I like Sheard. The only problem with Sheard is he's kind of a journeyman now. He's 32 years old. He's not showing his age, but again, if he comes back with on a team-friendly deal, I would love to bring him back and have him back up on that defensive line. So we would definitely need to see that. Some of the players that we really need to consider, I think, is going to be Austin Johnson. Austin Johnson, I don't think he got enough opportunity to play. I think he was too much used in the rotational position. But when he was in the game, good things happened. He's definitely a guy that I I'm saying definitely a lot because I definitely think we definitely need to bring him back. But he really is a guy that we need to bring back. And not only the fact that, like I said, he can be a rotational guy. But I could see him starting as well, for this team. And I could see him that if someone went down to injury, I would not have an issue with him being a long-term option at that position. Other player, Kyler Fackrell, sorry. Oh, Kyler. Everyone knows I'm not a big fan of Kyler. Why? Because Green Bay knew what they had in Kyler. They really did. They got rid of him. He had his Big Ten sack season. They thought so highly of that, they went out and signed 2 free agent linebackers and drafted a guy to replace him. He played okay in spurts. He came up with 2 or 3 big plays this season. Was he a consistent contributor? You take a look at the stats. No, and also he was injured as well. So I'm not bringing him back on any type of contract. I think we can get a 30-year-old linebacker in free agency pretty cheap that can rush the passer. So I mean, he never came close to the 10 sack season from a couple years ago, and I don't think he's ever going to. I think a lot of what happened with that 10 sack season was situational. So I mean, I just don't see us keeping him. Now the big 2 numbers: Dalvin Tomlinson and Leonard Williams. What are we gonna do with these pair? We probably can't keep both. We could franchise Leonard again, but I think the franchise tag on the second year, I think it's $17 million. I don't know off the top of my head. Well, no, that was I think it's $17.3 million. I don't know. I'll have to take a look into that. But Leonard Williams, of course, he had his career high, 11.5 sacks, 14 tackles were lost, 30 quarterback hits. Good season, really good season, all-pro season. He didn't make the Pro Bowl or the All-Pro team, which I find interesting because that's usually voted. The Pro Bowls are voted by the players in some regards. So I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But Leonard Williams, 26 years old, be 27 next year. He wants to be paid as a defensive end, but he's basically a defensive tackle. He had his 11.5 sacks, but I think we have to credit a lot of those sacks as coverage sacks. And one of those times that some people have to get the sacks. He also had I can't remember who he took. They also took a sack away from another player and gave it to him, I think in the Seattle game, which he probably didn't deserve, but that's all right. But I have a problem paying a guy a large portion of my cap. It's probably going to be anywhere between 6 to 8% of our total salary cap for a guy that really has had one great year out of 6. And people are like, well, you can't look at the past. Yeah, you have to look at the past. You have to see what he's done consistently throughout his career because you need to know if he's going to get his big money contract, if he's going to go be the Leonard Williams from 2018, 2019, the king of the almost sack. So we need to look at that. I'm not bringing back Leonard Williams. Sorry, he's going to be too pricey. He's just not what we need in regards to cap. Is he a good player? Sure. Is he a great player? No, not even close. Is he an LT type player? No. And Troy Aikman to say he was better than Lawrence Taylor, Troy Aikman must be smoking something. But he's just a guy that had one good year on a contract year out of 6. So we really need to look into that as well. Dalvin Tomlinson is the X factor. Dalvin Tomlinson has improved each season since he's been in the league. He has started every game in first 4 seasons, 64 games. He is a consistent run stopper. Over the last 3 years, he's got 46, 45 tackles and has 7 sacks in the last 2 seasons and 4 deflected passes in 2020. He was also our team captain, and he was nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Now, for the money that we're going to have to give to Leonard Williams, there is not going to be a lot left for Dalvin Tomlinson. Dalvin Tomlinson, to me, is more important than Leonard Williams. Dalvin Tomlinson, to me, along with Dexter Lawrence, helps protect the middle linebackers, helps make Blake Martinez better. He helps slow down the running back going into the second level, that if he gets into the second level, Blake Martinez can find the hole and get to the running back and stop him, beyond a 2-yard gain. That's what he does in that middle of that line. And that to me is invaluable. It's sort of like when we got rid of Snacks and the line play for the Giants dropped exponentially. And I laugh because people say, well, our line play improved when Leonard Williams came in against the rush. No, we only averaged a half a yard less in 19 from when Leonard Williams showed up. That's not improving the line play. But when Snacks left, our line play was horrid. They were gashing us. And I think the same thing is going to happen if we get rid of the Dalvin Tomlinson, Dexter Lawrence combination. So if it's me, I'm signing Dalvin. I'm getting rid of Leonard, and I'm taking some of that Leonard cash and going out there and trying to find an actual edge rusher. And again, this is Tim with Law & Line Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could subscribe. If you ring that bell, you think what that means, that'd be awesome.